डेवलपमेंट क्यों इतना ज़्यादा नहीं हो रहा है? My understanding I want to know is that political is there will be competition, right?
Right.
एक party power में है तो there will be 3 parties who want that power.
Correct.
So that will always keep on happening, national level, state level, everywhere.
Correct.
Right, whichever country also you go, it's going to
Correct.
happen. But why the party in power, they are not being able to develop it that well as some other state would have.
Got it.
Right. So they have the resources. They would be getting certain resources from somewhere
Right.
also, from national,
Right.
From the central budget, etc. Also. So what is happening there basically?
So, see, one has to understand that it's very. I think the topmost problem is that the revenue leakage is massive, like in the state, right? Like can't really like go on and claim like where it happens, what happens, or how it happens, but you can see revenue leakage happening, right?
Okay.
You can also see a lot of existing, let's say, government infrastructure being sold out or not being taken care of. I think it's just a question of where your aspirations lie and what you want to do, right? Like a party which is, not really thinking, if they've already decided that we're not going to win the next election, and to be honest, like people get that, like I know people who are actually working in the party. Like some of my friends have joined politics, like active in politics, right? On both sides. Like people in the existing one and people in this new one, right? It's also been a long-term interest of mine, right? Like at some point, hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, so then they tell me, right? Like, hey, like we know, like 4 year, like in going into the election where we stand, right? And we know that either it's like if we are like very close to what we win, then we'll go out all out and spend. Otherwise, we are solely on the side of trying to milk whatever we can in the existing tenure, right? And then people have some clarity on what is happening on ground. The opposite is also true. Like a lot has been spent, like for the existing guys to come into power, right? So I know it's wrong, but then there is economics 101 to it. I think there's economics 101 everywhere. So yeah, maybe that is the reason why things have not gone well.
I think one of the reasons why a state does not do well is that, and this is like my point of view on any state which would do well, or even a country for that matter, is that when you are keeping your personal interest above the state or the national interest.
Right.
Right. So I think when you are looking to develop your own self and
not
the state, then you're not going to do, like the state will not do that well. So when that selfish interest comes, and that goes to the revenue leakage part only. So
right.
जहाँ पे leak हो रहा है, तो जो leak कर रहा है, he is taking that self-interest more than the state interest. They don't look to develop the state. They want that state to be underdeveloped.
Okay.
Right. The intention is to keep it underdeveloped so that they can have the power over these underdeveloped people.
So you're making a more meta point as to.
So you become more stronger. They want that power, and to have that power, you need the people beneath you to be powerless. Right? You want them not to have the money, not to have that power, not to have that say.
Okay.
So it becomes an indirect way of keeping them, low, keeping them pressed,
right.
दबा के रखने का.
Right.
But at the same time, sometimes when there is something where you can do something good, so you'll do good to show that okay, we are there. You do a little bit of a publicity stunt.
Right.
That's I think my point of view, how they like to keep that power. So
right.
they will keep that power, but at the same time, not literally make the state powerful, not make the people powerful, not make the people independent and have good economy in that state.
Got it.
Get good corporates, get good industries.
And why would that be? Is it because they fear that if the masses become powerful, they'll be thrown out?
They'll be thrown out of power because they will be more educated to know what these guys have done in the past. It's like Congress, right? What happened to Congress? For 10 years, UPA 1, UPA 2 was there. Right? They were doing, I think UPA 1 did fairly well in getting good businesses.
UPA 1 did fairly well. Like
getting good industries. Growth बहुत अच्छा.
A lot of good policies at that point of time.
Good policies at that point in time. Because of that, I believe that one man, Manmohan Singh.
Right.
जब उसके हाथ से that power was going away, which was going more to the family.
Right.
And a lot of things which were happening under the nose of Manmohan Singh, but not with his will. I would
Not his
suppose.
sign off, but then
Not his
he just
sign-off.
had to rubber stamp his.
Yeah,
Got
it was
it.
happening because of the family. I would,
Right.
assume in terms of whatever that I have read or heard or we have seen, right, which is literally out there. And I have read this book also. I'm forgetting the name. It was of the ex-comptroller governor of India.
Okay.
Vinod, I'm forgetting his name. But it was on the CAG reports that he had removed on all the UPA government scams. So the ex-comptroller and governor of India, so CAG.
Controller and Auditor General of India, I think that's it.
Sorry, Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Forgot his name, what it is. So his book, I had read it. And he had very clearly mentioned about what had happened, when it happened. There were proper photos attached. What notices were received. What went under the nose of Manmohan Singh, and he still had to sign off.
Okay.
The email copies were shared in that book. There are proper screenshots in the book of those email copies what were being exchanged in that government, with the telecom scam, stuff like that. So they did a lot of things. Why they did? Because they didn't want the country to develop. They wanted to take the money. They wanted to keep the power, thinking that अच्छा किसी को पता नहीं चलेगा, हम पैसा ले लेंगे,
right,
and let the country stay underdeveloped.
Okay.
Right. If they come to know, we'll be out, and that's what happened. People came to know. People realized that.
But it's natural, right? Like information will fizzle out.
Information will fizzle out.
Right.
But they thought they were over smart.
Okay.
Right. And that would always keep, you have to be on your toes if you are hiding something, cheating something.
Right.
You're going to get caught. And if people find out, you're going to be out. And that's what happened.
So let's discuss what are the recipes to make a good villain.
Good
villain.
नहीं यार ऐसा कोई रेसिपी नहीं होता है. But I mean that's I don't know, it's a different thing, but just to keep on this politics part also, and that's where BJP is prospering. And I'm not a pro BJP or anti Congress or something.
Disclaimer you've given. Okay.
Yeah, not talking about any party supporting.
Right.
But just on the basis of this conversation, I feel what these guys have done well is, that their entire top management has been very clean in terms of their records, their books.
Okay.
Right? There is nothing that comes up against them, or has never come, or if they have done, but it has never come out publicly because of whatever pressure they have kept on people or whatever.
Okay.
Right? So, जो भी है बाहर नहीं आया है.
Nothing that we know of yet.
Yeah, that we don't know of.
Yes.
उन्होंने किया भी होगा, कभी बाहर नहीं आया. There has not been any leakage. Right? And even at the bottom, for that matter, तो कुछ भी बाहर नहीं आता. I'm sure the percentage of bribe or percentage of those kind of things would have reduced in this BJP 1, BJP 2.
Okay.
NDA 1,
NDA 1, NDA 2.
It would be much lesser than UPA 2 or UPA 1. I'm sure that percentage has reduced, and that you can see in their policies, GST, DMON, and the intent behind removing such policies, right? So that intent is very clean in terms of being clean and having online karna, sara kuch UPI, everything. Right? So that intent is clean. You make it everything on paper, white, without bribe. ऐसा नहीं है, होता ही होगा. Government office में everywhere it would be happening.
Right.
But that proportion is very less.
So it's important.
Which does not loot your country. It is not taking something, a major chunk from your country. That's what I think.
At least the intent is in the right direction.
Intent is in the right direction.